Attention Art 1 students. Just to recap the criteria for the paper and cloth texture exercise, I wanted to reiterate the main components needed to create this project. One is for the paper. We want to make sure that the placement is correct, that it's angled the correct way, the size is correct, and the positioning is correct. Here you'll notice that my cloth is not in the correct position. It actually has to hit on the right corner and the bottom corner of this paper. So pay attention to that placement. If I were to correct my placement, I would bring it over here and draw it this way. What happens is it goes off the camera, which is why I scooted mine over that way, so forgive me that mistake. But when you're doing the paper, it needs to be very angular and very sharp and crisp lines, just like these lines are sharp and crisp, as opposed to the soft lines which are needed on the fabric. These are the soft and fuzzy lines. These can be achieved by turning your pencil to the side and making broad lines so that you can do the soft and fuzzy lines in a broad sense. That's the way you achieve the lower contrast and the fuzzy lines needed for the cloth. So the low contrast means your highlights are going to be a light gray and your lowlights are going to be a medium gray. That's a low contrast scenario. On the paper, you have a high contrast scenario. So what you're doing is you're doing much darker darks right next to your lightest lights. So higher contrast is more dramatic, and it shows how the paper really does fold, and it shows that the texture is much more crisp and precise, whereas the fabric is much more fuzzy and soft and imprecise. So we want to make sure that this reflects the style of the that the style of the drawing reflects the texture we're trying to convey. So we're trying to convey fabric with a few puckers and ripples, and we're trying to convey paper that's got some strong folds in it. So please be aware of these criteria, and good luck on the rest of your project.